All right. First and foremost, we'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim who's doing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And also salutations to the select number of Akawath who's out there listening. We're from the Dallas camp, Man of Jacob. I'm Brother Kodar.
Yakai. Shot.
Yarwal.
And we just like to get into a quick lesson, man, about the nation, the men of our nation, man. The Southern Kingdom to the Northern Kingdom. You so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Native Americans not standing up, showing yourself as men, as the scripture's going to go into, man. The men of our nation just want to coexist with the so-called white man. That's not the mind of a king, because Jake is walking around here, we kings, we this and that. Well, you gotta put yourself in a mindset. You a king, but and we get the gist of what Jake is saying, because Esau is wicked as hell, and he has no damn ending to his wickedness, man. But in order to be a king, you got to put order in.
That's right.
So that's how the mind state we need to be in, man. We start off.
This is Isaiah 46:8. It says, "Remember this and show yourselves men."
Yeah, show yourselves men. Stand up for something, man. But that is what's here now, and looking you right in your face too, man. Because a lot of you, Jake, when we're on the highways and byways, a lot of y'all stop. The weird, like we used to the weird looks and the so-called scoffing, but things aren't so funny now that Trump's in office.
That's right.
Along with that cabinet that he selected with Edomites, who has a well-known hatred for you so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Latinos, man. So they're really like letting you know it's out in the open. So it's really a chess game. So what are you niggas gonna do now?
Hey, and it's beautiful that you mentioned Trump being in office right now, man.
God.
His right hand of wickedness, in his case, it's like it's never stopping, man. He's signing all types of executive orders and legislation, basically to put the men of our nation in dire straits in these last days.
That's right.
He's got plans to basically build a wall to keep Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, out of America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's basically got plans to cut off all these different benefits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So right now, the Spirit is speaking, especially if you wake up to this word. If you one of the elect men, it's time to be a man. And the way that you make the way to prepare your mind to be a man is through following the instruction of the Heavenly Father through these scriptures, man.
That's right, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Being bold, not listening to your damn woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not being under your damn mama, listening to what your granny told you.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
That's right, brother.
Like, it's about to be evil times on the earth. So the
right.
Lord, He's looking for real men who are willing to die with integrity for righteousness, you know?
That's right, brother. That's right.
I'm gonna finish this real quick for the brother. This is back in Isaiah 46:8. It says, "Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors."
Yeah. So you need to come back to your level of masculinity,
Mhm.
the level of manliness, man. And it's not this rah spirit, but it is somewhat of a more austere spirit. Like, nah, man, I ain't with that. And like Bud say, we gotta move in a orderly fashion, and ain't nothing the matter with that. I'm not telling you to go out and be an asshole to your boss and your coworkers and quote unquote peers. Be very cordial. Hey, for example, brothers, we work in places where you got other other nations, and they have a potluck or something, and we know that it's pork or so and so that's abominable to you according to the Holy Scriptures. We gonna show ourselves as men. Nah, man, I don't eat that.
Yep.
They keep forcing it. Well, no, all you gotta do is take it out. Look, man, I don't eat that. Or hey, somebody talking about some adultery at work. Man, hey, bro, I'm cool on that. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Just showing yourself as a man. There's nothing the matter with that, man. According to America, it is. But when you are standing boldly in the spirit of Yahweh, people get a clear understanding. Like, oh damn.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, too, it's about having a standard. Because it
That's
says
right,
here, it says, "Bring it again to mind." So we once had the instruction of the Heavenly Father, which is the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
And it says, "O ye transgressors," which we know the main transgression, which sin, is transgression of the law.
That's right.
So that's one of the ways in coming back into your manlyhood. understanding, recognizing, acknowledging the laws of the Heavenly Father, and keeping it to the best of your ability.
That's right.
Like it's gonna be things we in Babylon, the land of confusion, where people gonna try to entice you about pork and questioning why you gotta diet this way or why you do this and that.
Why-
Basically having a standard and not compromising, man.
That's right, man.
Your integrity.
Yeah.
That's the faith that the men of the Lord gonna be built up in, man. Not compromising the standard, man. Just to live comfortably on this side, man.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right, brother. You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
And I got you.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 13. It says, watch ye, stand fast in the faith.
Mm-hmm.
Quit you like men.
Mm-hmm.
Be strong.
Be strong, man. Be strong, man. Stand firmly, man. Cause everybody wants to know how you feel about Trump, and like we say, we love it because we know it's pushing forth prophecy, man. So if somebody like at work wants to talk about that, I'll be straight up like, hey, he's a guy who's got people on their toes. That's why I like Trump in office.
That's right.
So if therefore if you're on toes, and through the spirit of Habashim Yashar, we men of the Lord, we're those men. We on our watch, man.
Yes, sir.
So we know what's going on. A chump is not gonna watch. A man's gonna watch and then position himself, because we're in a time of warfare right now, man.
Exactly, brother.
So I'm standing with brothers who's sending out articles, brothers who's fighting, man. A real man fights. That's why people are so engulfed in MMA and boxing. Why? Because a real man fights till that last bell ring to the ref, like, okay, great fight. Everybody goes back to their neutral corners.
And the thing is, in this society, our people, the nation of Israel, the so-called Negro man, Latino man, so-called Native American man, we've been so deprived of that acknowledgement of how to be a man, maybe due to a single family household where your mom's raising you, to where our men, our so-called men, they don't really know how to be men. Like really, for us brothers in the faith, we didn't really understand what it was to be a man until we came into this truth.
That's true.
Like you may have been paying bills and being so-called responsible according to this world standard, but it's deeper than that, man. Like it's evil that's about to come to the earth, man. We understand the Most High's judgment, so we basically trying to get ourselves in order so that we'll be worthy to receive mercy.
That's right.
That's the essence of really being a man.
That's right.
Just really standing up for what you believe in, regardless of what things may happen, man.
That's
You
right.
know?
That's right.
Did you finish with yours out?
Alright, what it's talking about is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Hey, matter of fact, Bob Kushak, can you start at 1?
Yeah.
And then you can jump down.
Alright. It's Ecclesiastes, verse 12, verse 1. Remember not the Creator in the day of thy youth,
Mm-hmm.
while the evil days come not.
And the reason why this is because the scriptures talk about basically you don't put new wine into an old bottle. So right now the Most High, he's looking for young men. Because with a young man you could kind of work with him. He's willing to absorb things like a sponge, willing to be taught. We're babes in the faith, right? We have to basically be reborn into the faith. That was the true baptism. And basically be cleansed of all that corruption that we learned from the world, man.
That's right.
So that's why it says, seek the Creator in the days of thy youth.
That's right.
While you're young, while the Most High can really build you up to be the man that you need to be.
That's right,
It says before, while the evil days come not.
That's right.
You know? So it's time to be a fucking man.
Yeah.
It's all types of hell is about to come to the earth.
That's right.
And all this homosexuality and all this feminine agenda that's being pushed, it's not going to be beneficial, man.
Yeah. It's getting phased out right now, as you see it right before your eyes. That's another problem that people have with Donald Trump. Donald Trump represents that alpha male, that superiority complex.
Okay.
But hey, he's showcasing himself as a man.
Exactly.
Like what the hell did he like? Even though he's a demon, and we know about the I can't think about the Central Park 5 because he got those sent to jail when they were teenagers, and they didn't have nothing to do with that crime. They was eventually exonerated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was wicked. Of course, that's his other acts and him being a slumlord over buildings. But as far as when those recordings came out, when he had with old boy on I think on Apprentice, but they was being recorded where he was talking about grabbing chicks, by the box. Look, man, that was him and another man talking. What did he say wrong, man?
Right.
Y'all have a problem with that. That's why Donald Trump also is looked at like that, because he's a man.
Hey.
He got
Nah, you got it, brother.
you know what I'm saying? He's a man of he's a man with financial stability and power, and he exhorts that.
He's an alpha male.
Yeah,
Because
he's an
I was
alpha
just
male.
gonna back you up, brother. That's the type of spirit that's coming into the earth. It's gonna be a survival of the fittest
It
spirit.
is, brother.
You know? So we know that we're in a situation right now where women are being exalted over men, but in the time that we in now, man, it's gonna be beneficial to be an alpha male. You gon' things is gonna be on the take spirit. So the alpha males is the ones that's gonna be eating in the day, and chiefly the elect men of the Lord.
Yeah, that's
You know?
right.
Go ahead, brother.
It said, nor the years draw nigh, when they shall say, I have no pleasure in them. I'll keep reading.
Nah, basically, but before the years draw nigh, because we coming into the time, and really the days we already in, it ain't no pleasure in these days.
Yeah.
So that's why it's time to basically examine yourself, get your spiritual house in order, your own self, your own spiritual abode. You know what I'm saying? Prepare your mind to be a man, because all out hell is about to come to the earth. And you can jump to where you was gonna go to.
It's Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the whole conclusion of the whole matter. Fear not the Most High, keep His commandments.
Read it again, brother.
Fear the Most High and keep His commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
Yeah, the whole duty of man. You can break that down.
Hey,
Nah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it
that's
is.
just what it is, man. The whole duty of man is to fear the Most High and to keep His commandments. And when you fear the Most High, as the Scripture tells you in the book of Proverbs, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
that's right, brother.
You know, and as you start understanding and start gathering more wisdom, it starts teaching you how to become a man.
That's right.
You know, you start following the old. It tells you to follow the path of the ancients, of our ancient forefathers, right?
That's right.
You know, what if you look at like King David, you look at Solomon,
Yep.
you look at all of our ancient forefathers, man. Those were they were men, man. They weren't like these little hoe ass niggas you see today, man. That just be wearing skinny jeans and having, you know what I'm saying, blonde mohawks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
Yeah.
they were men, man. You know, like the brother said beautifully, man. Coming up in this time that we coming in now, you gonna have to be an alpha male, man.
That's right.
You know, the Lord ain't gonna be looking for no. I'm just gonna say it blunt, man. The Lord ain't looking for no pussified niggas, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Did you have something you had to say?
Now, I was going to say that was one of the commandments that preach outside the byways and highways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. If you ain't in the byways and highways, you're going to get torn up by what the Yahweh Shemah got in store for you, the phantom, the pedestrians, and the sword, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one of the commandments.
That's right, brother.
That's right. If I say this, man, that's a saying that you never learn how to be a man unless you see a man.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why the brother reference going back to the ancients, reading, going through the history of the scriptures the right way,
That's right, brother.
following the elders and apostles on down who laid the way for this thing, man. They're men doing this thing, man. They've learned, so we learn how to be men through them. You know, they teach us, man.
That's right, brother.
You know, so we're seeing men, so we're actually learning how to be men. The other Jays don't have that luxury.
Exactly.
Even in the worldly standard, they all most of them raised by their mama, so they didn't get a chance to see.
And in the
how to be
world,
a man
if I
like
can
that.
say something, in the world they say to be a man you gotta pay the rent, take care of your family, this and that. But the Lord saying you gotta keep the commandments. That's how you be a man.
Exactly.
You know?
Hey, and then the thing about that, like these camps, these other Israelite camps act just because we say put the Lord first, that we're not responsible for brothers that got families. Like we don't take care of our household, but the things the scripture says in Matthew, seek ye the kingdom and all things will be added unto you. So if you're a man that fears the Lord and you're keeping the commandments and you basically out of faith, going out and preaching and basically doing the will of the Heavenly Father, everything in your life is going to be well ordered. Things are going to fall in place. You're going to, by default, take care of your family. Take care of your little responsibilities in this world, man. It ain't hard to tell, man. Like Nas said, you know.
It's just being responsible in this government, so
Right.
in the right way. This way, Job chapter 38, verse 3. Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. So that's what the Most High is demanding for us, man. To gird up our loins, because the brothers ready for the time that we're coming in. Ain't gonna be no time to be shaking in the corner, worrying about bullshit, man. You gotta gird up your loins, because now we coming to life and death time situations.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to gird up our loins and be ready for what's coming, man. Get your mind ready spiritually.
That's right.
It was like, if I can say this, the example is a funny example because brothers caught wind of that Charles Oakley incident.
Oh, man.
Because in all actuality, you know what I'm saying, the man bought his, this is a little quick rundown, bought his tickets to the game, They treated Jake like he snuck in the garden. You know what I'm saying? You know, they asked him to move. Like, no, I will not leave because I paid for these tickets.
Okay.
And it wasn't. He stood as a man
Okay.
and let Esau know. He was. They say he was tall. He was at their neck, man. That's how, you know, because if you pay for your tickets, your hard-earned money, which, you know, that man earned through his career, man, no, I ain't going nowhere. I paid for these tickets. Y'all acting like I snuck in. No, I ain't going nowhere.
Hey,
You know?
and on the righteous level, like if you know the will of the Heavenly Father, and to the best of your ability, you're actually executing and performing it, we don't give a damn what you people got to say.
Yeah.
How you feel based on our perspective of the scriptures and how we live in our life, man, that's the same way we feel. We standing up for what we believe in. Because somebody has to do it, man. Our people have been pacified for too damn long. Our men have been just completely neutered in this society. So the Lord is setting up real men to lead the nation, you know, and basically until the time that the Lord comes back and establishes His kingdom, you know.
Yeah.
So I got that in Psalms too.
Come.
Would you finish with yours, Out?
Come.
This is Psalms 94:16. It says, "Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?"
Yeah, who will rise up? That's what it had to. What started with Father Bivens to the apostles on down, and simple as that, man. On the highways and byways, and then you got some brothers who's not associated with GMS, but they pushing this truth, and they showing themselves as men. Okay, but you can go to these so-called urban movies like Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood. When you look at those type of movies, what the so-called black man is, what he's a damn child on there, man, acting like a damn kid. Somebody else got on a different color than you. You want to bang on them. Somebody scuffed your shoes. You want to bang on them. That's not being a man. You can't just say excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's the aura that Jake comes in, man. They got that aura of childlike. So that's why and for one, Esau also has something to do with that too. Because when we brought over here on slave ships, they didn't see us as men, so they always called us boy. Okay. And also that like that Uncle Ben's rice, that was like a slick shot at Jake. They never called us man or sir, so it was either uncle or boy. You know what I'm saying? So that stigma, Esau has a lot to do with that, and that's why they also don't pay.
That's why, that's why when they choke you in they say uncle, because you're the man. You don't want to tell him.
Twist your arm and say uncle, So that term, say uncle, say uncle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That is, I did not know that. Hey, that's a spirit.
I mean, you submit.
Yeah. Submitting you.
Yeah.
And hey, and this really, the real men of the Lord, there's only one power that we should be submitting to.
That's right, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Which we know Yahweh Shai is the word, so we should be submissive to this word, not no vain man, especially no damn Edomite.
That's right, brother.
Which we know that Esau, he's in his blessing right now. He has the sword, so we got to move in wisdom.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Most High, I'm gonna get this real quick.
Come on, brother.
You know, this is 1 Timothy, or Salakia, 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For the Most High hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." And Jake, like you referenced that Minister Society, all these gang banging niggas just acting emotional, just shooting and killing each other.
Yeah.
A real man is gonna rule his spirit.
Yeah.
He's gonna be calculating. He's gonna be real meticulous about how he operates and makes moves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that shows that mama boy spirit on our people, just killing each other over nothing, you know?
That's right.
That's not, because our people, they take on the wrong concept of what it is to be a man. They think it's just being a damn brute beast and just you know, just being a damn junkyard dog.
That's right.
No, a man is ruling your spirit, being wise,
That's right.
being righteous, having integrity, standing up for what's right.
That's right.
That's being a man.
That what's that famous quote from was it Godfather? Women and children they can afford to be careless, but a man can't.
Yeah, brother.
You know, so if you gotta exhort that type of spirit. Like, damn, you like when you come into this truth, you know, you do things different, man. Like I said, you know, no lesson. I was like, man, I want to curse out people every day, choke them out, do everything I can, but that's not cool. For one, be angry and sin not. I can't just go put my hands on people.
And if I could say yes, for two, since you said one, the Most High showed us mercy
Yeah.
and giving us these camp days.
Yeah.
So you don't have to bottle it up forever.
Yeah, come.
Just wait till Tuesday night.
Yeah, come.
You know what I'm saying? You give a brother put a lesson together,
Yeah.
and then Friday night,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, you can do your own private lesson all through the week.
Yeah, come.
So
Yeah.
the Most High showed us mercy
Yeah.
and allowing us to be able to release
Yeah.
that. You know, so
No, that's a beautiful point because that's you know that figure four, that combo I want to get you in, I can just do it with the scriptures
Exactly.
and let you know the scoop, and then you just gonna reveal yourself to be a damn demon anyway, trying to fight me. What I wanted to do to you, I had to rule my spirit and get to the scriptures. I bring them scriptures out Tuesday and Friday, like the brother said. Now y'all want to push on us, you know what I'm saying? Now you know. Yeah, everybody talks about being a man, and then for you women talking about being a woman. We got the prime example right here.
Right.
How to raise your children, how to treat your wife, how to treat your brother, how to be as a man.
Yep.
The scriptures is a spiritual guideline, a beautiful guideline. Like, oh, okay, I follow this and that. Okay, cool. But in this society, everything's turned upside down.
Like something I was gonna say, you know, it's like a little corny phrase, as they say, not as they say, but you know, like they say, like what Bible they say stands for basic instructions
Before leaving Earth, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, when you really think about it too, it really is. It's an instruction manual, man. Because ultimately, man, as the scripture says, as Yahweh Shah said, you know, I'm from above and you're from beneath. You know, so you gotta have that mindset. You gotta have that mindset. Like, look, I'm not. You can't operate on the same level as a nigga in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't operate on the same level as Tyrone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta operate in the level of what Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has given you, man.
Yeah.
You know, he said we're gonna be a nation of kings and priests.
Yeah.
So if he said we're gonna be a nation of kings and priests, how you gonna be sitting here getting mad at somebody that's wearing a blue shirt and I'm wearing red and now I wanna shoot this nigga?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or how you gonna get mad or like, you know, your woman may say something to you and you up here now you crying a river over your woman.
Yeah.
When being a nation of king and priest, man, you're gonna have multiple women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even about women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just having a kingdom mindset, man. You
Yeah,
know?
like Ariella says, it's a good thing Jake got that apartment mindset, man.
Mhm.
Like this thing is way bigger than us,
Yeah.
but we know that we have to do our own prospective parts in the building of the government that's to come. The Most High, He's building a spiritual army right now, but it's going to transfer also into the kingdom, into a government
Yep.
of well-ordered men, and it starts with your conduct right now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And the way that you conduct yourself is according to the standard of the rule, man, through these scriptures.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna finish this precept and I'm gonna let y'all brothers get down. This is back in Psalms 94:16. It says, "Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?"
Yeah. Who's gonna do that? That's gonna be men of the Lord. Lord,
Exactly.
we those men.
Okay.
We like the brother Zakari brought up a beautiful point, man. Somebody like I seen at work or seen on the news. Guess what? It's the opportunity Tuesday, and then that sit down, that live show. Look, this is what's going on. This, and you know, you can go into every avenue because through the scriptures you could filter everything, man. You know how to conduct yourself. You know how to. You know what? Okay, this is how we're gonna lead this because you thinking. Because also with a man, men are logical. When you show yourself as a real man, you're logical and you're strategic, and you become a tactician. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna move like this, I'm gonna move like that. You can't just wing it, man. That's why certain teams are successful, you know, in sports. You know, Bill Belichick in that. He's a strategic coach.
Spurs.
Yes, Spurs. Phil Jackson, look, run the triangle offense.
Hey, and if I could say that too, a man too, like just stays the course. Like
Yeah.
if something just kind of impromptu happens, you don't abandon the game plan.
Yeah.
And that's for us in the faith. Like shit gonna happen, bro. We gonna catch hell.
Yep.
Things gonna happen, but that don't mean we'll abandon the game plan. You stay the course.
Yep.
You keep doing the work.
Yep.
You keep, keeping
Yeah.
the commandments to the best of your ability. You
Yeah.
keep being a brother to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The show must go on. And like women, when little things happen, they make rash
Yeah.
decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't be in that lot, man.
That's right.
Mental toughness.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why another reason why Donald Trump had to be in office, bro. Hillary didn't have no business being in office. You know, it's just another prime example. You need a man who's gonna be logical. He's got reasons behind these executive orders. Not because how she feeling. She's sick. She damn near on her deathbed. I ain't feeling good today. Can we please do? No. No. Donald Trump has business ties. He has a vision. But his pride is gonna get him destroyed anyway.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, the Most High just set up that damn devil just to push this thing sooner, man.
That's right.
So that's the only reason why we kind of exhort him, like, man, let's get it going, man. He gonna bring the Most High's prophecy and will sooner to fruition.
That's
Lord
right.
willing.
Lord willing.
You know?
I got something.
Kind of.
Got something to be strong in your mind. This is 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind. Be sober.
That's
and,
right.
And hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach.
If I could say something, you read that first part.
Come on.
Start at the beginning.
1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind.
It says of your mind. So you got people around thinking, okay, well, yeah, they right. It's that time. But they got it in their mind that they're going to fight against the powers that be through some kind of political device. One, voting or whatever. And two, taking up arms. That's not what the Most High is talking about.
That's right.
It's saying gird up your mind in the sense of prepare yourself for battle.
Yeah.
What battle? Like it talks about battle of principality.
Yeah,
that's
that's
Paul
right.
talking about. We may not necessarily be out here with guns. We may not.
Yeah.
But the most important part is the spiritual battle.
That's right.
So you have to get your mind prepared for something other than a carnal fight.
That's right.
Will you be in a carnal fight? Maybe so, maybe no. But you have to get your mind prepared for the whole totality of what's going on.
That's right, brother.
What are we fighting against? The principles of like Christmas,
Yeah.
the principles of transsexuals being able to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if you walking around with a gun in your hand, saying it's okay, but at the same time saying it's okay to have sex, you're a man and want to have sex with another man, you're not going to be ready and you're going to be taken out.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's a lot.
That's a beautiful point.
Be sober.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean by alcohol, but just clear thinking, man.
That's right, brother.
And hope to the
And
end.
it also means sober in a sense of understanding that there's one idea, there's one philosophy, and that's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You're not drunk with this Baptist and Methodist. You don't take all those into your body. The only thing you take into yourself is the truth.
That's
The
right.
mouth.
That's right.
So,
And hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach. Right? And so that's what we're doing, man. That's what keeps us clearly thinking.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us locked. That's what keeps us not flying off the handle.
Yeah.
Because we're prisoners of hope, of that righteousness. So when you're hoping for that, you're going to find out the best way to achieve that goal, the best route possible. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? With that sober thinking, you know what I'm saying? When I read earlier, girding up the loins of your mind, man.
That's right.
That's right,
You
brother.
know, verse 14, as obedient children, right? And brother read Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, fear the Most High. Not fasten yourselves according to the former lust in your ignorance.
Yeah. To your lack of knowledge.
I got a scripture. Did you have
and
one?
your former lust
Yeah.
before you got a Hebrew name.
Yeah.
Not fastening yourself to, your name used to be Ronald, or your name, you know what I mean, I say used to. How was Ronald? Who was Ronald?
Okay.
Ronald had a name and Ronald was a person. But as you come into the truth, your name changes to Tazamah. So you have to live as Tazamah. You can't go back to Ronald on, Wednesday and Saturday. It's always Tazamah.
Okay.
Now you gotta put the old man, put the new man.
That's
You
right.
can't hold with the old name, new with the new man.
God.
That's right. Nah, go ahead, brother.
This is First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 64. Wherefore you, my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in behalf of the law, for by it shall you obtain glory.
Hey, because the scriptures also talk about the hour of temptation. We already know the scriptures first and foremost speak that there's an RFID microchip or the mark of the beast. In Revelations the 13th chapter.
Right.
So we're gonna be tempted to have to take that, man. So in that day, we're gonna have to stand firm as men in our mind. You know what I'm saying? Knowing like the standard, knowing our forefathers and the examples that they showed of manliness, to basically resist that just to be in the good graces of the Most High. Go ahead, brother.
God says, wherefore you, my sons, be valiant, which means be courageous or being brave, standing up for something. And show yourselves men in behalf of the law, You know, and you got to show yourself a man and be. It's not on behalf of what Esau says. It's not on behalf of what America's standard is.
Exactly.
You got to show yourself a man on behalf of the law, just like what the brother went into in Ecclesiastes.